guys, this is Priestess, and today we're going to be making an aesthetic. Not the kind that makes you sleep, hopefully. So, I'm going to be using Bazaart again, and so we're just going to start, and I'm going to use the Instagram portrait size. That's usually what I use. And I'm going to be doing something a little bit more abstract today, not the usual kind of psychedelic stuff I do, just because it would be slightly easier to show you how to do that, and then later down the line I could do something more psychedelic maybe. So this is going to be more like shapes and lines and things like that, and maybe a little bit of kanji, and so let's see how it goes. So let's start with the background. So I'm thinking of something dark. So perhaps we could try black. If that doesn't work out, I'll try navy blue, but let's start with black. And then let's try some shapes. And I think blue would look good. So get a shape. And I know, like I said before, I know a lot of you guys don't use Bazaart. So I apologize, but I'm sure that whatever program you use, shapes are pretty easy to access. So I'm just going to use a circle there, and I'm going to fill it. And I'm going to use a gradient, so I think I want to do like a bright blue to kind of stand out against the dark background. And I want to make sure that that is even. So you can see that it's even on the sides there with the corners. And then a big circle in the middle. So I'm just gonna do like this. About like that, maybe a little smaller actually. And then I'm gonna center it, hopefully. Well, maybe, if snapping works. Snapping is weird. Sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. But that looks about centered to me. So we're gonna call that good. And again, I'm gonna check just to make sure it looks like it's in the center. It actually needs to be moved up a little bit, I think. I don't know why snapping isn't working. If you don't know what snapping is, it's a tool that helps you align things, like whatever you're using, like different shapes or objects or PNGs or whatever. It just aligns them for you so that they're all even with each other. And a lot of people don't like it, but I actually use it a lot. So, and I don't know why it's not working right now, but that's fine. So I'm going to use a kind of a color contrast type thing here with the blue, and I think I'm going to do a dark red. That might be a little too bright actually, so let's try maybe that red. It might be not bright enough, so try this red. Let's see how that looks. Okay, yeah. Let's try that and see how that looks. And we can always change it later, of course. And then I'll do some lines. So I have to go into shapes, and I have to, with Bazaart, you have to search for certain shapes. So and I'll have to search for a horizontal line. Okay. I don't want a super thick one, so I will try this one because it'll get bigger as I do this. So there, that is right in the middle of the circle. And think I'm gonna fill it with the same blue that the little circle is to match, so let's do that. And then you can just duplicate it like so, and you can duplicate it again. You see snapping is working now. Just get them even here. And check and make sure they look even. I'm not very good at gauging if things are even with my eyes, and a lot of the times I have to go back and fix things later. Sometimes even after I save it when I think I'm done. Okay, so we've got that so far. That almost looks like an outrun sun, but let's add something else. So I'm gonna try another circle. And just do this. And that's the center of that circle. And then I think just to make it more matchy, fill that in with black like so. Okay, so that's our basic design. And this is a really simple one and pretty much almost done at this point, honestly, but still need to add, I think, some kanji and a statue, of course. So I've already picked out a statue that I want to use, and I already filtered it as well and cut it, because for one thing, I already showed you guys how to cut a statue, so now you don't want to sit through that again. And also the filtering, sometimes that takes me literally like 30 minutes to pick a filter. And also that's a highly individual preference, because people just like things to look different ways. And I didn't necessarily want you to have to sit here for 30 minutes while I go through all the filters. You know, there's like 100 of them. So, you know, just whatever you think looks best, really. There's not any rules about filters. So, let's see where the statues are that I saved. Let's see. Albums, recents. Here we go. Okay. So here's the statue. And I'm gonna blow it up quite a bit, actually. I'm gonna move this down. You can't really see the stand. I'm gonna center it. So yeah, I'm gonna make it a little bit larger so it covers up a little bit of that blue circle. Center it again. All right. So that's basically it on the statue. And like I said, you know, maybe you don't agree with that filter, you think it needs to be a different color, then, you know, that's totally a personal choice. And you can do that. So let's add some kanji up at the top left corner, because that looks a little bit empty. So we'll have to go exit out of Bazaart, and I use Google Translate, and I have been told that it is not always accurate, but since I do not speak Japanese, that is the best I can do. So I don't really have a phrase in mind. So I usually just type something kind of cheerful. Although you can see that a lot of this stuff isn't cheerful, but just for the sake of having something to put, I'm just gonna put happy weekend because today is Saturday. And you can see that it actually looks good too. Like a lot of the times if I type something out and it's like way too long or too short or whatever, I'll pick something else. So that actually looks pretty good. So I'm going to go ahead and copy that and then go back to Bazaart, go back to this, go into text, paste it, and then pick a font. Now, I don't know about GIMP or Photoshop or whatever. Bazaart has particular fonts for kanji, as you can see here. So I'm going to use one of these, and I don't know which yet. So I don't really like the boxy ones. I don't normally use those. And I don't like that one either. It's too cartoony. Let's go with that one. Okay, and then you want to do the color. So how I'm going to do the color is I'm not going to pick one of these ready to go colors. I'm going to pick a color that's already in the picture to make it match better. So you hit the little dropper thingy, and I'm going to use the red. So you can see that makes the kanji the same red as the circle. And then it needs to be smaller, but and their snapping is going to put it right in the right spot for me. And I already forgot what it says. I think it says happy weekend. So that's basically it. We could do a few tweaks to it. I'm wondering what these blue lines would look like if they were a little bit less opaque. So we could look at that and see if it would look kind of cool to turn that down a little so you could see the red through it. Yeah, I did kind of like that actually. Okay, so we'll just do that with all of those. Just turn that down. And if I had thought of that beforehand, I could have just duplicated it and they would have all been the same, but I didn't, so. And I don't know, that red still seems awfully bright to me, so I might change that red. I don't know, let's see. That's too faded out. I don't know. I think that actually does look better. That or that. See, this is what I mean about filters and why you don't want to sit here and watch me do this for 30 minutes. Let's go with that one. And that way you can see it kind of like through the blue a little bit better. But of course that means we'll have to change the color of the kanji. So you gotta do that. And now that I'm looking at it, the statue actually seems a little bit too big. It's just taking up way too much space. So I'm gonna shrink that a little bit. And it's okay if it doesn't cover up the blue circle any. just gonna move it up to about right there. Yeah, that's good. So that is basically it. You could always add some other stuff, or you could change the background to, you know, anything you want. Purple, which doesn't actually look very good, you know, whatever. And I talked about navy. Let's see how navy looks. About the same as black. So I'll just keep it black. So yeah, that's pretty much it. And that's a pretty easy one to do. Actually, this statue looks crooked. I wonder if it is actually crooked. You see how the base is like lower on one side than the other? So I think I will lower it back down. That's strange. Means I don't have to blow it back up again. Oh well. And this is where you get into, like, at this point when you're making art, this is where you get into all the like little nitpicky stuff where you change like the size of things and the color and where they're at and all this stuff like a million times. But this is basically it, and I probably won't change it again. Or if I do, it won't be anything major. So I'm going to go ahead and save it. And as always, check and make sure that it's saved. And then I usually use the automatic edit thing on my iPad. So that is it on that one. And then you can either keep it in Bazaart or not, as you choose. And that is all for that one. And then next time I'll do one that is a bit more complicated. So I hope you all enjoyed that and learned something, and I will see you next time. Okay.